Hey guys, it's Bjorn here again, Goosebumps #1 Aussie fan, bringing you another video! This one is going to be talking about the Goosebumps movie, second draft script. So yeah guys, you can actually read the second draft of the Goosebumps script online. If you actually just type, I'll put it in the description again. I put it in the description of one of my other videos, but yeah, for those of you that didn't, get, wrap your head around it or whatnot, or didn't see it, yeah, you can actually read the second draft of the Goosebumps movie script. So I'll put it in the description below. I'll just talk about a few things. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear it from me, read it first, okay? But yeah, okay, I'll just tell you a few little things that were in the script, that were really awesome and I would love to talk about. Okay, number one, the first thing I want to talk about, okay, it was a lot darker. Alright? The second draft of the script, okay, the movie we got now was really funny, and a little bit scary. When it was supposed to be scary and just a little bit funny. But yeah, the second draft of the script was legit darker. A lot better. And they weren't trying to be funny so much. It was a lot, it was toned down a lot, the humor. I don't know what made them want to make it more funny, I have no idea, but it was a lot better. And there was a lot of monsters in it that would have been so nostalgic. You know what I mean? For a lot of you guys, there was so many, monsters and ghouls and villains that would have been just so awesome in the actual movie. Which hopefully those ones that they took out, they are thinking to put in the second one. But yeah, I'll just sort of go through my list of all the things I want to talk about. So yeah, it's a lot darker, obviously. The humor isn't over the top. It's just very mild, and it just seems to be more creepy. Okay, the opening scene of the second draft script, it's I think those guys, okay, in the alternate opening, there's those two guys, and there's that moving truck with all this stuff in it, and you've got Slappy, and he turns around, and it's somewhat like that, but the guys are moving all this stuff from this what was it again? It was some chapel or something into this moving truck, and it's obviously R.L.Stine's stuff, right? The manuscripts and whatnot. And inside one of the boxes, I think they dropped one of the boxes, or something fell out of one of them. I can't remember exactly, but one of the manuscripts falls out. And it's the blob that ate everyone, and one of the guys is like, hey, I used to read these when I was a kid, and so, going back, because he's obviously 30 or something, and yeah, he's like, I used to read these when I was a kid. He's like, oh, what should we do? Should we tell them or put them back in? He's like, oh, just throw it in their truck, the rest of them. And as they're driving along, and also, oh yeah, sorry, they also move a ventriloquist dummy in some glass case thing, so it's clearly Slappy. But yeah, they put it all in the truck and they drive off, and it's raining and storming, you know what I mean? Really awesome atmosphere for an opening scene. So I just wish that would have been so awesome if they did that, instead of just some car driving up and down the freeway to Madison, Delaware with some really dramatic music. This would have been a much cooler opening. But with all the rain and the storm. And yeah, they're driving whatnot, and they hear noise coming from the back. They go and check it out. They don't know what it is. And the next thing you know, they turn around, shadow overcasts them or something, and it's the blob, and they scream, and then it cuts to opening credits of different Goosebumps books, kind of like what the end credits were, but it actually had a list of the ones they show, and I think the Girl Who Cried Monster was on there, and a couple others. Yeah, it was just really awesome opening sequence. But yeah, a lot of the dialogue is completely different. I didn't notice that many lines that were the same. There was only a few that were the same, but yeah, there's a lot of different lines just throughout the whole script. It's not exactly word for word. It's completely different. There's 3 or 4 lines throughout the whole script that was the same as the actual movie we got. I mean, we even hear Champ call Zach's mum a bitch. one chick, he calls her a bitch at one point. He's like, that's my mom. And he's like, oh, did I mention I'm not that popular? Like, you know, just silly, quirky Champ. Like, oh, wait, no, his name's not Champ in it, sorry. His name wasn't actually Champ. It was, Duncan. That was his name was Duncan, not Champ. So that's, yeah, he actually had a different name as well. And R.L. Oh, and the other thing is R.L.Stine wasn't Hannah's dad. It was Hannah's uncle, not the dad. Like, it was a lot different. Like, there's so many little things. I mean, okay, let's just talk about the monsters. There was one scene in the movie where, like, okay, obviously you guys know in the Revenge of the Law gnomes, the dad brings home those gnomes, and the gnomes aren't destroying the dad's garden, they're destroying, like, the neighbor's garden, right? Well, that's what the gnomes actually do in the movie. They're destroying, I think her name was Lorraine in the second draft. I can't remember. Zach's aunt. I think it, oh god, I can't remember the name. I think it may have been a different name, I don't know. But the gnomes actually fulfill their purpose like they do in the book. They're actually destroying the garden. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like some of the monsters are actually doing what they do in the books, like little moments, you know? And, the other thing, Slappy obviously is still the main villain, but he seems more brutal than he was in the actual movie. Like, he seems a lot more over-the-top brutal. I mean, it actually says in the script, there's a bit where the executioner starts ringing the town bell. Like, once all the monsters start coming out of the books, he's ringing, like, the town bell, and, like, all the monsters are crowding, and then they see, like, a big shadow slowly decrease into a small shadow, and then Slappy steps up. And, like, one of the bug-eyed aliens from Invasion of the Body Squeezers kind of hovers over Slappy, like, trying to take charge, and then Slappy shakes his hand, and he's got, like, one of those buzzer things, and it, like, blows up the bug-eyed alien. It blows it up, and into, like, this rotting carcass thing, and then Slappy's just sort of like, yeah, you know, don't mess with me kind of thing. Like, he gives that, I can't remember what he said, but something along those lines, like, yeah, don't mess with me. I may be small, but I'm, you know, don't mess with me. Yeah, so there was that. What else was there? There was, okay, Cuddles the hamster was in it. Alright, I just don't want to really say it, but read it first if you don't want to hear all these things. But yeah, Cuddles was in it. Who else was in it? The Beast from the East was in it. I think I said in my Monsters I'd Like to See in the sequel that it is in the second drop. Yeah, the Beast from the East was in it. What else did we get? We had so many monsters. Oh yeah, the Blob was in it at the end, but it's actually like devouring the school, kind of like it's hovering over the school, and like R.L.Stine, like, is typing on the type, you know, as he does, and he has to quickly finish it before the Blob, like, swallows the school. You know what I mean? Like, actually eats the school. But yeah, what else is there? Oh, the best thing about it, which I thought the greatest thing about the script, was Zach actually reads the magic words to bring Slappy to life. Because Slappy isn't actually in his manuscript. He's already out of the book. Like, he's in a glass case. And R.L.Stine, he says at some point in the script that every time he tried to put Slappy back in, he somehow found a way back out of the manuscript. He would always find his way back out. Like, saying, like, he's just so evil. Like, every time I would try to suck Slappy back into the book, like all the other monsters, somehow he'd always manage to escape, which I found was pretty creepy. And when Zach and Duncan break into R.L.Stine's house after hearing Hannah's scream, because that actually happened kind of the same, they go into the study, and there's Slappy sitting in his glass, like, case, and he's got the magic words written above his, like, on his forehead, and he reads them and brings them to life. And once like the snowman gets out and they go chase it or whatnot, and as they're driving back, they notice a pack of praying mantises running along the road. So so basically they don't go back and Slappy's sitting there and goes, "Hello, Papa," and then they have like their little talk. As they're driving back from, you know, sucking the snowman back in the book, Slappy's already on the move. You know what I mean? Everything's happening. And as they're driving back home, the praying mantises are, you know, there's like 3 of them, like, running into like some forest or something. And R.L.Stine stops the car and he's like, "Does Karu Maria Donna Loma Malanu Kurano mean anything to you?" And he's just like, "What do you mean? Is that bad, Zach?" Zach's like, well, Zach read the words, not Duncan. And Zach's just kind of like, "What, is that bad? You know, he's just like, "Oh no." And then he puts the throttle on and drives back home, knowing that, oh no, Slappy's alive, he's on the move, all the monsters are escaping. And then, you know, that's kind of how it happens in this script. It's not that the snowman knocks all the books and then the lock seal breaks. It's actually, yeah, he reads the words and then Slappy's alive. So they did so many things like the actual book, like he read the magic words, brought Slappy to life. The law gnomes are destroying the net, you know, the garden, you know, the executioner is like got the big bell thing, you know, and he's, you know, making the bell ring, you know, just all those little things that happen in the book the monsters are doing in the actual, like, this movie script. And I think it was so much better than the movie we actually got. Read it, tell me what you think. I'll put it in the description again. But yeah, personally, I think this script, if they went with it, would have been so much better than the actual movie we got. It was just so much darker, and the opening scene was unbelievable compared to the one we got. All it is a little Zach's moving little van and their car just driving up and down the freeway as some dramatic music by Danny Elfman's playing. You know what I mean? It could have been so much cooler and better. It was just darker. It was, to me, it was Goosebumps, I think. It was Goosebumps. This script was so much better. And yeah, so tell me what you guys think. I think I must have rambled on for at least nearly 20 minutes here. But yeah, see you guys again soon.